Hello, Cookbook friends. My name is Carrie with Cookbook Divas, and I'm here with my co-host Katie, and we are excited to chat about all the new cookbooks that came out the final week of October 2021, right before Halloween. This is our 34th podcast episode. Thanks so much for listening. Don't forget to stop by our Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, whatever your favorite social and video network is, and drop us a note and a comment. So, Katie, what is the first cookbook on your list this week?
Arty Parties, an entertaining cookbook by the creator of Salad for President, which I need to look up now. This is by Julia Sherman. So apparently, artists throw superior parties, and we can learn from their willingness to draw outside the lines, choose character over perfection, and find boundless joy in feeding family and friends. I guess I kind of do that, actually.
You're an artist, so I don't think I've been to one of your parties yet,
I know. Thanksgiving this year. So cook, live, and host like an artist with inspired, easy recipes and playful hands-on experiments in the kitchen. So Sherman shows you how to be an architect of your own uniquely memorable bash, whether that means special breakfast for two or a choose-your-own-adventure meal that's flexible enough to feed a crowd. That's super cute. I really like that. It presents dishes like an avocado lemongrass panna cotta, saffron tomato soup.
Ooh.
Yeah, coconut rice cakes with smashed avocado and soy marinated eggs, and roasted broccolini and blood oranges with a creamy pepita sauce. All of that sounds really good.
I have pepitas in the house right now.
Oh, yum. Oh. So that is Arty Parties, an entertaining cookbook by the creator of Salad for President by Julia Sherman.
My first book today is by a teenage cookbook author. It's Bake Away, 20 Recipes Capturing the Spirit of Creativity, Experience, and Expression by Sahana Vij. From the delicate Portland berry cream pie to the towering Atlanta crepe cake, Sahana Vij brings you on her journey of inspiration, sharing the simple steps to create an array of delightful desserts. Each recipe is accompanied by exquisite food photography and portraits of stunning locations. And right now, I totally want to look through this cookbook because it's a rainy, gloomy day in the Pacific Northwest, and I'd love to take a little visual travel somewhere else but here.
I feel that.
In her cookbook, she helps you explore an elegant fruit garden in the Temescal Valley as you make a luscious citrus poppy seed bread. I love citrus poppy seed breads.
Oh.
You can learn a little about Maui as you prepare a decadent coconut and chocolate tart, which I wouldn't personally make because I don't like coconut. She has recipes for a spiced chai-infused cake, which was inspired by visits to a prominent tea room here in Seattle. Bake Away is more than a cookbook. It's a beautifully written book grounded in family relationships and giving. And I looked up some of Sahana's early videos on YouTube when she was younger. She's adorable.
Oh.
So that's Bake Away, 20 Recipes by Sahana Vij.
My next cookbook is Cannelle of Vanille, Bake Simple, a new way to bake gluten-free. This is by Aran Goyoaga. So this cookbook is all about easy-to-follow gluten-free recipes for enticing breads, cakes, pies, tarts, biscuits, cookies, and includes a special holiday baking chapter. That's really nice.
I think you need this gluten-free, lady.
I might actually... Yeah, I do. This is really cool. So Aran also shares her gluten-free all-purpose baking mix. Ooh, I love that. So you can whip up a batch to keep in your pantry.
Ooh.
And there's an added bonus, which is that each recipe offers dairy-free substitutions, and some are actually naturally vegan. Wow, that's really cool. I always find it really difficult to do vegan and gluten-free, so I'm very excited about this.
I love the idea of having a baking mix already mixed up so you could in the morning be like, let's have pancakes or let's have muffins or biscuits and just pull it out and not have to sit there and think and measure before you've had your coffee.
Oh my god. And there's usually at least like 5 different kinds of flours you put in gluten-free mixes, so this would be super helpful to have. There are 145 photos. That's exciting.
I love photos.
So some of the recipes included are 1 bowl apple, yogurt, and maple cake, double melting chocolate cookies, yum, honeyed apple pie, buttery shortbread, lemon meringue tartlets, baguettes, brioche, and boules? I've never heard of that before. There's also a crispy potato, leek, and kale focaccia pie.
That's the only way to get me to eat kale.
Now I know. And then she also provides a pumpkin and pine nut tart. That would be a really cool alternative for Thanksgiving this year, I think. So this is Cannelle of Vanille, Bake Simple, a new way to bake gluten-free by Aran Goyoaga.
My next book is kind of a specialty book. It won't be for everyone. It's The Chocolatier's Kitchen by Davide Comaschi and his friends. He's at the highest level of chocolate making expertise. He's won awards. He's the global creative leader at Barry Callebaut. But this is a 600-page chocolate Bible. So
holy moly.
Way over my skill level and probably too big to fit on my shelf, but I'm definitely going to check it out, maybe at the library. Comaschi shares his in-depth knowledge of chocolate and his own recipes, along with contributions from friends and colleagues. There's inspiring ideas for pastry chefs, confectioners, chefs, or professional chocolate lovers. So I am none of those things, so I will not be purchasing this. But those of you that are super, super crazy interested in being a confectioner or a pastry chef or a chocolatier will definitely need to have this reference. It includes recipes for ice cream, candy, chocolates, chocolate spreads, and more. So that's The Chocolatier's Kitchen by Davide Comaschi.
Next up is Cookies, the New Classics, a baking book. This is by Szewczyk. Move beyond the same old chocolate chip, peanut butter, and oatmeal cookies with Jessie. There's a collection of 100 brand new, boldly flavored, and intriguing yet familiar recipes. I did briefly see some photos a couple weeks ago of this cookbook, and I really can't wait to get my hands on it to do a video because it really does look really amazing.
And I'm guilty of just making chocolate chip, peanut butter, or oatmeal cookies. That's all I make. I'm like,
I know.
Boring.
Yeah, and I know cookies can be easy and unique. So I'm very excited to see what he has. But there's some combinations listed here. There's malted brownie biscotti, key lime pie meringues, smoked butter and chocolate chunk cookies, chewy blueberry muffin sugar cookies, and pretzels and stout cookie bars. That's interesting. So this is Cookies, the New Classics, a baking book. This is by Szewczyk.
Pretzels and stout makes me think of Oktoberfest. Ooh.
Yes.
My next book is Cooking at Home, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying About Recipes and Love My Microwave by David Chang and Priya Krishna. I love this because I am a very busy/lazy cook. In fact, last night we just microwaved our dinner, confession time. So the author, David Chang, came up as a chef in kitchens where you had to do everything the hard way. Think meringue by hand, creaming your own butter by hand, etc. Mm-hmm. But his mother, who's one of the best cooks he knows, never cooked like that. Nor did food writer Priya Krishna's mom. So Dave and Priya set out to think through the smartest, fastest, least meticulous, most delicious, absolutely imperfect ways to cook. Sold. I'm buying this. That's so me.
This one looks really cool.
They help you figure out the best ways to use frozen vegetables, which I personally have a freezer full of frozen veggies. Learning when to ditch recipes and just taste and adjust your way to a terrific meal. This is Dave's guide to substituting, adapting, shortcutting, and sandbagging, like par-cooking chicken in a microwave before blasting it with flavor in a 4-minute stir-fry or a 10-minute stew. This is ingenious.
Yeah, it is. It's wonderful.
I think we all need Cooking at Home, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying About Recipes and Love My Microwave. The authors are David Chang and Priya Krishna.
I love David Chang so much, so I'm really excited. This next cookbook I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy. It's Cravings, Altogether, Recipes to Love, a cookbook. This is by Chrissy Teigen. So Chrissy Teigen has always found a big sense of fun in the kitchen, but more than ever, she turns to the stove for comfort and warmth. Now, Chrissy shares the recipes that have sustained her and her family, the ones that made her feel like everything is going to be okay. I like that. That's cute. So recipes for cozy classic red lentil soup.
Yum.
Chickpea crunch wraps. That sounds good too. Baked pasta with ham and peas. Stuffed PB&J French toast. And puff pastry. Wrapped meatloaf Wellington. Okay, that's interesting.
Oh, my boyfriend would love that.
Yeah. And family favorites like her mom Pepper's Thai-style sloppy joes and John's Saturday morning blueberry buttermilk pancakes. Very cute. I like the whole thing with Cravings. So this is Chrissy Teigen's new cookbook, Cravings All Together, a cookbook.
And if you like Chrissy Teigen, you should check out YouTube because she's been in so many interviews the last couple weeks about this cookbook.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
She probably has a really good publicist.
Yes, definitely.
Our next cookbook we've talked about several times, and Katie's written a post about it, and we've both pre-ordered it. It's Divine Your Dinner, a cookbook for using tarot as your guide to magical meals by Courtney McBroom and Melinda Lee Holm. There are 78 recipes in this cookbook because each one of them interprets a specific tarot card and its energy. Pull a card at random or with intent from your deck, flip to the card's corresponding recipe, and you'll find magical ingredients to infuse your meals with spiritual energy from the tarot. So, for example, there's the Moon's pumpkin cornbread, which sounds delicious.
Yeah.
You can fight Five of Swords anxiety with salt and juniper berries by making duck confit. And you can relax into the Empress's nurturing love with a rose is a rosé punch, which sounds delicious, and now I'm thirsty. This would be a great gift book for, I'm sure all of us have friends that like the tarot.
Yes.
Somewhere there. Not all of my friends, but several. That would be a nice little Christmas surprise. Divine Your Dinner by Courtney McBroom and Melinda Lee Holm. What's next on your list, Katie?
The Essential Pie Cookbook. 50 sweet and savory recipes. This is by Sarah Klein. And it's pie season. I'm feeling it. So no matter your baking skill level, this cookbook makes it easy to create your favorite pies with a collection of tried and true recipes for everything from savory pies to fruit pies, nut pies, chocolate pies, and more.
When will I learn to eat lunch before we record a podcast? Because I'm sitting here drooling now thinking about these pies.
I ate lunch and I'm drooling about these pies. It doesn't matter. We're trapped forever. So this is a pie baking 101 section. So you can learn all the essentials about pie baking. That includes equipment, how to properly execute techniques like cutting in butter and transferring dough to a pie plate.
Scary.
Yeah, it is. How to beautify your pies and more. There are classic and contemporary flavors throughout. So you get things like all-American apple pie. You get new favorites like salted honey pie.
Ooh.
That's how, I was like, that might be too sweet, but then the salt, I don't know. There's a lot of good things going on here. There's a variety of homemade crusts provided. You don't need to go to the store. There's 6 simple recipes for tasty crust you can make at home, and that includes gluten-free crust, a cookie crust, and an all butter crust. An all butter crust? I did not know that was a thing. So
it sounds like shortbread.
Yeah, I'm really excited. This is the Essential Pie Cookbook, 50 sweet and savory recipes by Sarah Klein.
My next cookbook is Grist, a practical guide to cooking grains, beans, seeds, and legumes by Abra Behrens. When I initially saw the title, I thought it was gristle, and I was going to not look through it. I'm like, no, that's meat. That's disgusting. But it's grist. Excuse me. Like a grist mill. Okay. So I'm a vegetarian, and I need this cookbook because I constantly cook with beans and legumes and grains. There's 125 recipes for 29 different types of grains, legumes, and seeds.
Oh, wow.
And you can cook them in combination with vegetables and lean proteins for healthy, variable, and satisfying meals, and many of them are gluten-free.
Ooh, awesome.
So here's some of the grains. Amaranth, I've never cooked with, or grains and seeds and legumes. Barley, I cook with, but not often enough. Black-eyed peas, I love, but I basically just open a can. Buckwheat, bulgur, chickpeas I use constantly. Common beans, corn, yeah. Cowpeas, Crowder peas, farro, fava beans, field peas, fonio, never heard of that. Starts with an F, not a PH. Freekeh, legumes, lentils I love cooking with, lima beans, millet oats, quinoa, rice, sorghum, split peas, soybeans, tiny seed grains, something called teff, and wheat berries. I am going to learn a lot from this cookbook, and I'm going to run to the natural market closest to my house called PCC Natural Markets because I could stock up on all of these weird things that I've never cooked with. And when I say weird, I mean it lovingly, not judgmentally. So that's Grist, a practical guide to cooking grains, beans, seeds, and legumes by Abra Behrens.
I was confused about common beans. I don't know what a common bean is.
I think they just mean like every
Black
type of bean ever.
And pinto bean. And
yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that sounds really cool. This cookbook sounds also very interesting. It's the Italian-American Red Sauce Classics and New Essentials. This is by Angie Rito, Scott Tachinelli, and Jamie Feldmar. In this cookbook, Angie, Scott are all chefs of critically acclaimed Don Angie in New York City's West Village. They've reinvigorated the genre with a modern point of view that proudly straddles the line between Italian and American. So I like that this is strictly American-Italian, Italian-American. There's no, we're trying to be Italian here or American. So they present family classics passed down through generations side by side with creative spins and riffs inspired by influences both old and new. That's interesting and very cool. I don't actually know what meat sauce originated from. It'd be cool to see like the side by side, the traditional meat sauce versus what we have now, the contemporary. So these comforting dishes feel familiar but are far from expected, including their signature pinwheel lasagna, ribs glazed with orange, and Campari, saucy shrimp parm meatballs, and a cheesy bubbling gratin of broccoli rabe and sharp provolone. Wow, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Very elegant. So this is Italian-American Red Sauce Classics and New Essentials by Angie Rito, Scott Tachinelli, and James Feldmar.
My next cookbook is called My New Table, Everyday Inspiration for Eating and Living by Trish Magwood, who is a chef, food, lifestyle entrepreneur, and expert, and a mom. She's had a lot of change in her life since her last cookbook through the blending of families, an ever-evolving career, and the renovation of a new home. So that's why My New Table is the title. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's the place where she comes together with her family and friends to gather and eat and connect, and it's always been her anchor. So in this new cookbook, she shares the easy, seasonal, and delicious family recipes she's created to feed the 3 happy generations of family and friends who regularly revolve around her table. Aw, that's sweet.
Yeah.
The recipes use fresh, local ingredients that follow the rhythm of the seasons, paired with simple preparations to let their natural flavors shine, which is nice because some cookbooks you're just dumping sauce all over everything and kind of smothering the natural flavors. Trish says that she is a salt and pepper, butter and olive oil kind of cook, and that really resonates with me. Yes. She presents recipes for midweek evening dinners and leisurely weekend get-togethers, right up my alley. Yeah. And I noticed as I flipped through her cookbook, she has pizza, pasta, and taco recipes in this cookbook. I'm definitely going to check out My New Table by Trish Magwood.
Next up is the official Guinness Cookbook, over 70 recipes for cooking and baking from Ireland's famous brewery. This is by Caroline Hennessy. So we all know that Guinness beer has long been used by home cooks as either the secret ingredient or the perfectly paired beverage to a variety of dishes and drinks. I have a lot of friends that use beer and all kinds of stuff, and I always have to be careful. So they have from a savory braised short rib recipe to a creamy mint cocktail to a homey chocolate potato cake. This comprehensive book includes over 60 recipes for dishes that feature or pair with the stouts and lagers of the Guinness Brewery. The beers featured in the book include the classic Guinness Drought, crisp extra stout, bittersweet foreign extra stout, citrusy Baltimore blonde, and so much more. So if you're...
No, they had other beers besides the classic Guinness Draught.
I didn't either.
Which is a meal in itself, so I've never thought of cooking with it, because after I drink a Guinness, I'm like, well, I'm full now.
Oh, I know. But it is really, like, I remember beer, bread, and all kinds of... When I could have beer, I remember using it more in cooking, and it is really good. It definitely gives it a little bit more flavor and depth, so it's really cool. So this is the official Guinness Cookbook by Caroline Hennessy.
My next cookbook is yet another pasta cookbook, and I'm not complaining because I love pasta. It's Pasta, the Spirit and Craft of Italy's Greatest Food with Recipes by Missy Robbins and Talia Baiocchi. Missy is a New York City chef, and she fell in love with Italian food and pasta 25 years ago. And ever since, she's been cooking, researching, and studying her way across Italy. And she opened two of America's most renowned pasta restaurants, which I apologize for never having heard of, Lilia and Misi, M-I-S-I. So the cookbook has illustrated step-by-step recipes, which I love when cookbooks do that. Thank you.
Yeah.
They show you how to hand make 40 of the most versatile pasta shapes.
Oh my God.
And there's 100 recipes for Italian-American, regional Italian, and Robin's own best pasta dishes, plus 24 vegetable sides. So you could use this for a Thanksgiving cookbook too.
Oh, cool.
Whether you're making pasta sheets for lasagna or stamping out pasta coins for corsetti with goat cheese and asparagus, or even if you have to buy handmade pasta to make tagliatelle with porcini, rosemary, and garlic, yum! She provides all the inspiration, instruction, and encouragement required to make pasta exceptionally well. Ooh! And I have no excuse because I have a KitchenAid stand mixer, a pasta attachment, a ravioli attachment thingy. So I should get this cookbook and start making pasta.
Oh.
That's Pasta, the Spirit and Craft of Italy's Greatest Food by Missy Robbins and Talia Baiocchi.
Next up, if you're an athlete and a cook, you might want to listen up. It's Rise and Run, Recipes, Rituals, and Runs to Fuel Your Day, a cookbook. This is by Shalane Flanagan and Elise Kopecki. They believe that what you eat at the start of the day impacts everything. That includes your mood, your workout output, your cravings, your sleep, and even your long-term health. In this cookbook, discover a better AM routine and nourish your entire day with more than 100 recipes for nutrient-dense breakfasts, recovery drinks, packable snacks, and best of all, 24 new superhero muffin recipes.
Ooh.
There are savory and sweet ones. This is a cool cookbook. I really enjoy it. Because I am a bit of an athlete, not like these guys, but if you want to start learning how to cook better and incorporate that with your workout, that's really cool. So this is Rise and Run. This is by Shalane Flanagan and Elise Kopecki.
I'm pretty sure they're going to tell me I can't just have French toast every morning. Okay, fair enough.
I know. Yum. What's next for you?
We got a copy of this cookbook from the publisher as a gift. Thanks so much. And I'm really looking forward to reviewing it on our YouTube channel. It's 10-Minute Sourdough, Bread Making for Real Life by Vanessa Kimball. Thank you. I do not have time to be kneading bread all day long. I do enjoy making bread, but I'm super looking forward to 10 minutes hands-on prep for sourdough bread baked at home.
Oh, wow.
I love seasonal cooking and baking, so I'm delighted that that's how this cookbook is organized into seasonal chapters and a bonus chapter on breads for celebrations. So fun. That's 10-Minute Sourdough Bread Making for Real Life by Vanessa Kimball. And check out the Cookbook Divas YouTube channel in about a week or week and a half where I will do a video cookbook look-through of it.
Ooh, yay. That'll be exciting. The final cookbook on our list today is the Tomb Raider Cookbook and Travel Guide. This is by Sebastian Haley and Tara Theo Harris. So this video game cookbook offers recipes based on the cultural history and the many locations Lara Croft has visited throughout her 25 years of global adventures, bringing the taste back home to you. I love this. I grew up with Tomb Raider. I love Lara Croft. That's why I went into anthropology a little bit. So yeah, it's just, I love this so much. So it features over 40 recipes from the many locations that Lara Croft visits and explores across the globe, with food and drinks inspired by key characters and locations. For example, we have a lomo salto recipe from Peru. There's beans on toast from Britain because Laura is British. And okonomiyaki from Japan. There's a lot of really cool recipes in here. I was very, very surprised. It's a great cookbook. Even if you're not a gamer, it has a lot of really unique recipes that showcase a lot of cultures around the world. So that's Tomb Raider, the official cookbook and travel guide by Sebastian Halley and Tara Theo Harris. So if you guys want more cookbook content, come join us on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. Also, make sure to check out our blog at cookbookdivas.com. We like to do a whole bunch of different articles there as well. If you like what you hear, make sure to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite listening app because every bit helps. Don't forget to share our podcast with other fellow cookbook lovers so they can find us too. We try to release new episodes every Friday, and those are our cookbook roundups, and sometimes we'll do a mini-sode on Tuesdays when we have the time. So stay tuned for those. Thank you guys so much for listening, and have a wonderful week.